Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Home Synchronize. I'm Lema and I'm here to help you create a home that is peaceful, beautiful and organized, reflecting your faith and Muslim identity. In our last video, I shared 6 tips to help you start decluttering. You can find the link to that video in the description box below. Today we're talking about the process of decluttering and how to simplify it for yourself. So let's get started. Decluttering is more than just tidying up. It's about creating harmony and purpose in our homes. Early Muslims had simplicity at the heart of their lifestyle. Even the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ emphasized minimalism, owning only what was essential. This approach not only made life manageable, but also kept the focus on learning their deen and taking care of their families. In today's world, however, we often collect more things than we actually need, often without realizing how little we truly use or value them. This habit can lead to unnecessary clutter, making our spaces feel overwhelming instead of peaceful. A clutter free home helps us regain focus, making time for prayer, strengthening family connections, and creating a calm and organized space that fits our needs and values. I know decluttering can be overwhelming. Here's a simple step by step process you can follow. First, start with one area. Don't try to declutter your entire house at once or even one room. Pick a small, manageable spot. It could be a drawer, a shelf, a desktop, or countertop, or just one corner of a room. Choose an area that you see often or that feels messy, the area that bothers you the most. Decluttering and organizing the visible areas will give you a sense of accomplishment, which will motivate you to keep going. Now, start with the trash, such as old receipts and manuals, expired food, torn clothes, or broken items that can't be repaired. These are things that are obvious and don't need much thinking, just trash. Now gather what doesn't belong. Remove everything that doesn't belong to that space and place it in a box to help you carry these items back to where they belong. For example, if you're decluttering your kitchen counter and you find a pair of scissors, some mail, toys, a couple of books or stories, these items clearly belong in different parts of the house. Placing them in a box allows you to focus on tidying the specific space you're working on without being distracted by moving items around the house right away. Now use 3 categories to sort what's left: keep, donate, and discard. Asking yourself the following questions will help you decide how to sort your items. Do I like this? If I don't, but it's in a good shape, then I place it in the donate box. If I do, then I ask myself, why am I keeping it? If it's something I use regularly, it should go to its designated spot. If I use it seasonally or occasionally, it should also have a dedicated spot. If it's something sentimental, or if the reason is I might need it someday or I paid too much for it to just get rid of it, then it's time to rethink. Inshallah, I'll do a separate video on this because I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. Do I really need this many of the same item? Here's a tip you can use if you do. The rule of 5-2-3. Lay out the 5 items you have, keep 2 of them, and get rid of 3. Here's another question. Would I pack this if I were to move? This is one of my favorite questions to ask when deciding whether to keep an item. I moved several times in my lifetime, and I'm here to tell you, decluttering before a move is mentally and physically exhausting. So why not use that mindset to think about whether our belongings truly serve us? Ask yourself if each item is worth the effort to pack, move, and unpack. This perspective can help you focus on keeping only what is truly valuable and necessary. Here's another important question to ask yourself. If I ever need this item, where would I look for it? This simple question can make decluttering so much easier. Everything you own should have a specific place or a home. Here's a simple example. Think about your sock drawer. That drawer is meant for socks. So if you need socks, that's where you'd go and look for them. Now imagine that you bought new socks and now that drawer is too full to close. What should you do? You could sort through the socks and donate or discard the ones you don't use, making space for the new ones. Or you might create a second sock drawer or mix them with other items like with your pajamas or your scarves. But then here's the problem. When socks are spread out across multiple places, it becomes harder and more time consuming to find what you need. Managing two drawers instead of one also adds unnecessary effort and takes time away from more important things. Not to mention the added stress and frustration of trying to find a sock when you need it. That's why it's so important to assign a single dedicated place for your belongings. It keeps things simple, organized, and easy to manage. If an item serves a purpose but doesn't currently have a home, create one. If it doesn't serve a purpose or fit into a category, it's time to let it go. Before putting items back, make sure to wipe down the area because a clean space feels fresh and inviting. And finally, the fun part, organizing. Return only what you need and love. Use canisters, baskets, or labels to keep everything in its place. I'll create a separate video to guide you through the best ways to organize and maximize your space effectively. So make sure to hit that notification button and follow along. Let's look at an example from my daughter's room. As you can expect from any flat surface, it becomes a catch-all for random items like you see here. The first step is to remove the obvious trash. I have here a packaging from I don't know what, an empty tissue box, a used dryer sheet. Any obvious trash needs to go in a trash bag. Next, I can remove what does not belong. Now I would use a box, but I didn't have one, so I'm using this basket to collect everything that does not belong on the dresser. I'll take these items back to where they belong after I'm done with the dresser. Now that the trash and the items that do not belong are removed, the space looks clean and easy to manage. Now I can start sorting what's left into categories. Since I've organized this dresser before, the items are already grouped into categories. As you see, I have bracelets, headbands, and combs. However, this is a good time to review if these items are still useful or needed. So, as you can see, decluttering isn't just about organizing, it's also about evaluating what truly is important to us. As I'm evaluating, I'm asking myself, does my daughter still love these items? Does she wear them? Are they in good condition? Just so you know. Before doing this, I made sure to ask my daughter about her preferences, what she wants to keep and what she's ready to let go of. It's important to involve children in decluttering their own spaces to help them learn independence and decision making. Now with these bracelets, I'm sorting out the ones she no longer uses but are in good shape and placing them in a pile for donation. The other glass jar has headbands that she still uses, so I'll keep them where they are. Next, I wipe down the tray and the dresser top to remove any dust or smudges, creating a clean and fresh surface. Then I carefully return only the items that belong there, ensuring everything is organized and neat. And that's it. That's how you declutter your home, one section at a time. You don't have to rush it or be perfect at it. Remember, progress, not perfection. Here are some tips to avoid recluttering your home. Tip number 1, regular check-ins. Set aside a few minutes each week to review important areas in your home, like countertops, desks, or entryways, and clear away anything that doesn't belong. For example, you might go through the mail pile and discard the junk mail or return items to their proper places. For closets and cabinets, check in at least once a month to ensure they remain tidy and organized. Second tip, one in, one out rule. When you buy something new, let go of something old. For example, I practice this with my fridge and pantry during weekly grocery shopping. So before putting away new items, I check for expired or unused food and remove it. This keeps my space organized and ensures I'm only keeping what's fresh and needed. And finally, practice mindful shopping. Before you buy something new, take a moment to think if you truly need it. Ask yourself, do I already own something similar? Will I use this item regularly or will it just take up space? By being intentional with your purchases, you can reduce clutter and only bring items into your home that add value to your life. I hope these tips inspire you and help you on your decluttering journey. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you found it useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Make sure to subscribe to Home Synchronize for more practical advice and ideas to create a calm and organized home. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.